Hey everyone, it's Elise. I am here today to do the jellyfish puppet workshop with you. This is an example of what we'll be creating. It's just made out of a paper bowl and plastic bags. I was kind of inspired by this idea because I love how floaty plastic bags are, and it kind of reminded me of a jellyfish underwater. So we're going to be doing that today. Let me go over some materials that you will need. We're going to need a paper bowl, any size will work. We're going to need at least one plastic bag. I'm pretty sure I only used one for this puppet, but if you wanted to add even more tendrils, you could definitely use two. That's up to you. Remove that. I am just using masking tape. You can use hot glue to attach the tendrils to the bowl, but masking tape honestly works just fine. And then of course you're going to need paint and base or markers, anything to decorate it. And then on the inside, I added a little fringe of yarn. So if you have yarn that you'd like to work with, you can do that too. This yarn that I'm going to be using today is the same one I used for, I think, last week's workshop. It's this pretty lilac yarn. I used the pink one there, but I want to use this like curly purple yarn today. So let's get started. Let's get our bowl out. The very first thing you're going to do is, you don't have to do this, but I personally prefer it. I wanted to cut off this little lip here because I just felt like this looks kind of like too much like a bowl when you look at it. So I'm just going to take some scissors. That's another thing you're going to need. I always forget to mention those. And I'm just going to cut it off. I'm not going to cut it off completely because I do want like a tiny little bit of a lip because jellyfish kind of don't have that perfect round shape. But it's kind of up to you. So I'm just going to start by trimming that. Again, it does not have to be perfect. All right. Makes a funny sound when you cut it. I also thought it'd be kind of funny to make jellyfish out of plastic bag, because it's kind of sad because that's what sea turtles mistake for jellyfish in the ocean. So it's kind of like got this little poetic thing going on. All right, so now I have this, right? That kind of looks more like a jellyfish shape. So now we get to paint it and decorate it. That's what I like about this. You get to start off with the fun part really fast. It's my favorite time. I'm going to ask you guys what color I should paint this. So name any color combination. As you can see with this one, I kind of used like a combination of pinks and purples. So if you guys have a color combination you'd like to see me do, I would love to hear it. Reminder that I am using this purple with it, so anything that might look good with the purple would be cool. So somebody give me a color, because I like to do what you guys suggest. I'm gonna pull my paint basket towards me. Yellow and red. All right, that's cool. I do like that. So I'm gonna get my yellow and red. That's red, right? Out. All right. I'm gonna get a different color yellow too. All right. Let me move that back. All right. And what I like about this this painting part is that I like kind of blending the colors and making it look very pretty, because jellyfish are so ethereal in nature, right? They're very beautiful creatures to watch. So your design can kind of follow that. If you're using markers, you can kind of do the same thing. But if you have a different idea for wanting to paint it, I would totally welcome seeing that too. I'm gonna get my paintbrush out. Ooh, still has paint from it from last time. Let me wipe that off. All right. Let me get some yellow going. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is, my method for painting this was I kind of like painted it wet and just like kept going until I was satisfied with the blending that happened. So I'm going to do that here. Just kind of get into it. You can always fix it later. Ooh, there's a flyaway hair. There we go. This is the color so far. I'm just going fast because we're going to add the prettiness in a few seconds. It is kind of annoying to have to get into the ridges, but just bear with me. Have fun with it. I'm definitely going to need some more red paint. All right, now I have this, and I'm just going to kind of take some yellow and brush it on there. I might have to wait until this dries and go back in and add some because, as we know, yellow tends to be the weakest color in terms of paints, and it likes to blend really well. That does look pretty, though. This might just end up being orange. Who knows? All right, so I have this kind of fiery look going on. I like that. We have a fire jellyfish. I feel like this is really like a relaxing project to do because it's just, you know, it's just blending pretty colors and painting a little jellyfish. That's just like a nice thing to do. So I'm really not being too perfect at all or precise with where I am putting these paint strokes, just because I like that kind of, you know, unpredictable look you see going. Ooh, got a big glob. There we go. You know, I'm going back in and painting the other parts wherever I see fit. Sorry, I feel like it's kind of boring for you guys to watch me paint. Maybe I should just try to tell some jokes or something to keep it up. I don't know any jokes, though. I'm not very funny. All right. Almost there. It's starting to get hard to hold because your hands are going to get messy probably if you're not waiting for everything to dry. Sorry. Messy is fun, though. All right, so I've got this pretty blend of colors going, right? Oh, see, I'm just gonna kind of like look at it, see where I want to change it. I saw right there in the screen that there was kind of like a red spot that didn't match my vibe. All right, I'm gonna go back in and add some brighter yellow bits too. This definitely looks like a fire jellyfish. This is really cool. That's kind of funny though, because they live underwater, and I don't know. Maybe there's like sea fire. All right. So, ooh, that's very bright. What was that? There we go. All right, so we have this going. I like that. Do you guys like it? Hope it's good enough. So yeah, once you're satisfied with your paint job, we obviously have to let it dry a little bit, but that's okay because we can move on to the next part of our workshop. We're gonna let it dry a little bit before we paint the face on. As you can see with my original one, I kind of gave it like a cute little smiley face with the eyes. But of course it needs to dry first before we can do that. So I'm just gonna set that down, put my paintbrush away. The computer is going nuts right now. I need to delete some tabs to see if that'll calm it down. Cool off. There we go. Oh my gosh, my desk is so small. I can't make puppets on it. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna wipe off my hands so it doesn't stick to the plastic bag. All right, now it's time for the plastic bag part, right? We have to cut it up into shreds in order to get that, you know, the strips of it. So what I wanted to do first, or what I'm gonna do first is, I want to flatten this out, right? Because it's kind of like hard to just randomly cut strips from this CVS plastic bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the sides of it so then I can, you know, split it up and then put it down. So I'm going to cut through this. You should see a little seam actually. You can just kind of follow that however you feel. Might be a little bit hard to cut too. These scissors have seen better days. Oh, come on. There's like paint in it or something. There we go. All right, so I've got one side. I'm gonna cut the other. Oh, I hate that crinkly sound it makes. All right. So now I have gotten it to be split apart. And you know what's kind of cool is that you see, you know, we have obviously the print on there. That'll also work really well with our jellyfish actually, because, you know, we painted it a red base. So these red little accents in the strips that we're going to see are going to make it look even cooler. So you can do that. So all you're going to do now is, what I'm also going to do is cut this in half too. Because we won't be cutting this way, we'll be cutting this way. There we go. So now I have just this very flat piece that I can lay out. There might be some divots in your bag, I don't know. Just rip it apart until you're good. And now that it's laying flat, I'm just gonna start cutting it up. And it really doesn't, I'm doing them about like an inch thick, as you can see. You could do it thinner, you could do it thicker. It's really up to you. However you want your jellyfish to look is fine. You could do it like wavy if you had the patience to try to cut out plastic like that. That would be kind of a cool idea. You could do different size pieces, both in length and width. Okay, so I've got one. And this part's a little bit tedious, but trust me, you'll have a good end result, so just stick with me. All right. This would be so much easier if I didn't have like 3-year-old scissors. I should probably invest in that. There we go. My cat is also screaming to get into this room right now. He is a character. Oh, come on. You could also, if you wanted to, just try to tear it if your scissors aren't working like mine aren't doing super well right now. find it better when I kind of let them like glide. The scissors just kind of do the work. Come on, cut for me. Cool. Go. I have 5. I would say 10 is probably like the normal or like the average number you should have. So maybe once you get there, it'll be good. You know what else might be cool if you cut at least like a few of them into, you know, like to have tapered ends, because that is what jellyfish have in real life, right? They don't necessarily have these boxy ends to them. All right, so I'm pretty much done with this piece. You could save it, but I like the look of like this uniform tendrils going on, so I'm not going to use that. I have so many plastic bags since this pandemic started, because I don't know why, but they went back to them. There's probably a reason I don't know the answer to, but there's like this awkward little piece, so I'm just going to cut that off. That one's a little bit shorter than the rest. That's okay. I think this is number 8. Could be wrong. I'm not really sure. Oh, that one went by fast. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. It got caught. There we go. I'm gonna do one more, because I don't think that. I'm looking at my pile, kind of thinking it's gonna be enough. All right. So now I've got my pile of little plastic bag shreds. Woohoo! And I can save this. It's good to have a little bit extra in case, you know, like when you're putting them on, you suddenly discover that, oh no, I need like 1 or 2 more pieces to fill out this empty blank area. All right, so now back to our heads, right? You could always paint the underside too, but I'm not going to, just for time's sake. And also, I don't think you actually really need to, because the white matches with the plastic bag shreds pretty well. I'm gonna get my black out so I can paint on the little eyes and face really fast. I'm gonna get white too, because I like that little accent. I really need to squirt it. So for the face, you could obviously do anything you want. I just like this look of like the shiny eyes and the little smile. So I'm gonna do that. And then now just kind of decide which part you like best of your little paint job here. Ooh. I'm gonna say I like here the best, this side that's looking at you. Because that is the side you'll probably see the most. So that's the side you want to be happy with. And I'm just gonna paint 2 little eyes onto it now. You could give it facial expressions or anything you really want to do. Over what I have so far, but it's a little bit uneven. So I'm gonna fix that. Could make this an angry jellyfish because it's red. That's the color of anger, right? All right. Yeah, I like that. It's fairly good. Fairly even, I mean, so. I kind of like the idea of making it angry, so I'm going to add some like little like mad eyebrows. You don't mess with this one. My original jellyfish is the friendly one. I cracked myself up. I'm sorry. He would have different movements than the friendly one, right? He'd be kind of more like fast and jerky, even though he's a jellyfish. All right, so I have that going. And I'm just gonna, if I can find a clean paintbrush. I know you are in there. There we go. I'm just gonna add those little white accents really fast. Because even though he's mad, he is adorable. Sorry, I cracked myself up. All right. I have my face. The glare is there, but you can see that. Yeah. You don't mess with this one. All right. And now it's time for the little trick with masking tape I'm going to show you. I'm going to move my guy off to the side again so he can dry a little bit more. I also just remembered I have, where is it? I have this yarn, which matches the fire colors more, so I'm actually going to use that instead. Just because I think that'll look a little bit better. All right, so this next part is a little bit tricky, but I have faith in you. I think you can do it. So I'm going to add the inner ring first of this yarn, right? Because it's kind of easier to work inside out than it is to work outside in. So we're just going to cut some little tendrils first. So get out your yarn. And you can kind of decide, like, I'm going to take one of my average pieces, match it up, see how long we want to make that. It could be a little bit longer. It could be a little bit shorter. It's up to you. For this, I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I think that'll look kind of interesting. So I would recommend probably getting like 6 strands of this. Let me get it out. Go. I use this kind of yarn for puppet hair all the time because it looks like very curly and I like the colors. It looks real. If you're a puppet maker, I would recommend just having a lot of yarn at your disposal. All right, so now I have 6 strands going, right? That should be, I could probably add a little bit more, but I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me do that. So I'm gonna put that away. Now I'm gonna get out my masking tape. So what the trick that I did was I laid it all out and I laid these on it evenly. And then I turned the tape inside out and just kind of stuck it to itself to form a ring. And that might sound a little bit complicated, so I guess I will do that for you. Somebody just said a jellyfish joke. Would you rather kiss a shark or a jellyfish? A jellyfish. It's a no-brainer. That's a good one. I like that. That's very funny. Thank you, William Smith, for commenting that. You know I love a good joke. All right, so I'm just gonna, can you see this? I'm gonna post it right here. You can go down a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna just take it, and I'm gonna do it from like halfway down. So half of this does have to stick to the top of that bowl. So I'm gonna place it right here. Do you see that? And I'm gonna let it hang. I'm gonna just keep doing it until all 6 pieces are on. It will try to roll up on you, but don't let it be firm with your tape. You can also just be doing this probably the easier way, which is just hot gluing these to the top of the inside of the bowl. I just feel like I use hot glue a lot, and I exclude people who maybe don't have hot glue. So that's why I'm trying to do this with masking tape. It's also a little bit safer for kids, right? All right, so now I have this, kind of looks like a really, really bad hair extension. So now I have this, and I'm just gonna turn it and tape it to itself. Does not have to be perfect to kind of form this ring, right? And now you're gonna force these like the parts with the yarn on it outside. So you create, and it can fold on itself. This really doesn't have to look like super, super awesome or anything. Form this little cap. So now you have a sticky end. All you're going to do, hope you've tried at this point, is take it and just stick it right there, right in that center. Just make sure it's on there nice and good, because it might start to fall off, and that would be sad. You can always, again, glue it if like you're uncertain or something. But now we have the inner tendril of the jellyfish. That could be enough, honestly, if you didn't even want to have the floaty parts to it, but I like the floaty parts, and I just spent a lot of time cutting them out, so we're gonna do that. So now for this part, I kind of divided it into like 4 sections. I used like 4 different strips of masking tape for this. It's just hair and yarn everywhere in my desk right now. There we go. So I'm going to get a piece maybe about like this long, and I am going to just take this. What I did for this one is to just save less, because this is pretty thick for this piece of tape. I folded this plastic bit in half up top, and I'm just going to stick it to the tape. And again, try to leave like a little bit of space up top, just because you want more like sticky area, right? As long as it will hold it in place, you'll be okay. I'm going to take another bit and stick it here. And now if you feel like you want to go the extra mile with this, you can also take even more yarn and like use it to fill in that spot, so then it's like really, really fleshed out and everything. So it's gonna have to. Oh, somebody just asked me another joke, but it's only the question. Why did the jellyfish laugh? Jessica Williamson. I don't know. Why did the jellyfish laugh? Somebody tell me. I'm trying to think. I don't think I know that one. All right. So now I have these 2 strands, right? And I'm just gonna stick it to the inside. Try to make sure that tape doesn't poke out, because that wouldn't be very good. Jessica, I'm like holding my breath for you. I need you to finish that joke. All right, so see, we kind of have it started already. Just gonna set that down, do it again. I don't know, I know I can rip masking tape, but I always like to cut it. I just like those smooth edges. This is a shorter one. I want to use a lot shorter than the rest, and I don't like that. Oh, it's that one. Okay. So I'm going to do exactly what I just did. We're almost done. That's a good thing, because I'm hitting 30 minutes right now. Love keeping track of that clock. I'm putting 3 on this one just because, I don't know, I like to shake it up. It's fun. Oh, alrighty. Why did the jellyfish laugh? Tentacles. Oh, that's a good one. I love it. Thank you so much for posting jellyfish jokes on my workshop. We like to laugh in puppetry. If you're not laughing in puppetry, you're doing something wrong. All right. So see, I'm just kind of, it's almost there. I might actually have to cut a few more, but I'm not going to make you guys watch me do that. Now, since the front, the part with the face is probably going to show more than, oh, of course, I started adding it to the back. You could probably add a little bit more to the front. That's my mistake for not even really noticing where I wanted to put it down. The only reason I'm also doing this on like separate pieces of tape is because the tape doesn't really like to fold too well inside, like if you do it around the entire thing, and it's kind of hard to coordinate and everything, so don't be hard on yourself. Just do it in separate pieces. Post that side again. If you get a piece of tape that's showing on the outside, you can always just cut that off or something. It starts to get hard to work with all the other bits. There we go. So we're almost there, right? Oh no, I only have 2 pieces left. I should have cut more. I always do this to myself. So again, that's a good thing that you still have some extra bag left if you, the other piece just go, oh, right there. If you still have bag left, you can always just go back and cut some more. Just because I'm running out of time a little bit, I'm not going to do that, but it's whatever. And I'm even going to use my little pathetic short tendril, because that's what I have to do. I'm going to stick this one right to the front, and then I'm going to go back in later and flesh it out. All right. And now we pretty much have a completed jellyfish. Isn't that funny? So you can add some control mechanisms a few different ways. I wanted to kind of leave that up to you. With this one, I didn't say this in the materials, but I just added a little skewer, you know, for like those kebabs that you put on the grill. And I just hot glued it and then used that as my control. But there's a few different ways you can also do it. One is that you could honestly just hold it, right? And just kind of let your hand do the work. It's not, jellyfish don't move like this. I know they don't. I'm trying to get that floaty vibe with it. You could also attach a string. You could poke a hole through here. You might have to remove the tape ring right here for a little bit, but that's okay. And then you could just dangle it on some string. And that would be also really cool because you could just, you know, like string it up somewhere. Then it could be a cute little decoration as well. And then that way you could just kind of use the string to, it's very simple marionette almost, right? You could also maybe add a rod out the back using that same method of using the skewer. It's really up to you. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys had fun. On Friday, I am doing personally my favorite workshop yet, the puppets in my pocket corner over there. But we're making puppets of our pets, rod puppets. It's very simple. So I hope you join me. And just to close, I have a few more jellyfish jokes in the comments. Sorry, I don't see them until like I scroll down. Oh, I don't think I understand this one. What do you call a jellyfish on a plane? A phytoplankton. There we go. I like that. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you on Friday.